This is 5 on your side at 6. Focused on you.
Right now, we are learning more about a police officer injured in an Alton shootout. He is recovering tonight. The suspect is dead, and a K-9 officer was killed. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Kelly Jackson, in for Ann Allred.
And I'm Mike Bush. The shooting happened around 6 this morning. Tonight, Officer Alan Averbach is home from the hospital. We have team coverage tonight. Let's begin with Megan Kernan, who just heard from the mayor a couple of hours ago. Megan.
Mike, Mayor David Goins gave us some new details. Alton officer Alan Averbach has been released from the hospital and is at home resting. However, it's still unclear what led up to the shooting. It's important to note that officials are not looking for any other suspects at this time. Mayor Goins says that the officer is mourning the tragic loss of his beloved K-9 officer. Earlier this afternoon, dozens of police K-9 units from across the state honored Odin in a procession through the city as they took him to his final resting place. Odin passed away at the animal hospital after he was shot this morning. He had only been a K-9 for just a few months. The K-9 officer joined the department earlier this year, went to the K-9 Academy in February, and graduated in May. Police say the shootout happened this morning when the Alton Police Department exchanged gunfire with a suspect on Liberty and East 6th Street. While it's only been a few months working together, Mayor Goins says the bond between Officer Averbach and Odin was unbreakable.
They also develop a bond with the family because this officer, this K-9 goes home with this officer every day and really becomes part of that officer's family. The loss of Odin is not just a loss of a service animal, but of a loyal companion and a trusted team member.
Now, Mayor Goins says that a woman was shot in a random shooting somewhere in the area last night, but would not confirm whether it was connected to today's shooting. Now, we're still asking many questions that we want answers on, including who the suspect was and what they were wanted for. Illinois State Police is leading this investigation and still continuing that. We'll continue to update you on air and online. Live in Alton, Megan Kernan, 5 on your side.
Neighbors on Liberty Street started their Thursday morning hearing those gunshots outside their homes.
5 on your side's Laura Barcheski spoke with several of them who say this is not the first time they have seen crime scene tape on their street. Laura.
Mike and Ann, it's definitely not the first time, and neighbors are really frustrated because they feel like this isn't a true representation of how their neighborhood really is. One of the neighbors I spoke with says he woke up just after 4 o'clock this morning when he heard something happening outside of his house. When he looked out the window, he saw several officers using flashlights while running up and down the road. He says later he went outside to feed the neighborhood cats and get the paper when he heard gunshots fly down the street near his house.
So I heard 9, 10 shots. And Mary, my wife, who's in the house, said she looked out his second story bedroom window and saw that somebody was down over in the lot over here. And then we started to hear the helicopters and the sirens and all that.
Both neighbors I spoke to say the community is strong and they're going to rally around the police department during this difficult time. Reporting live in Alton, Laura Barcheski, 5 on your side.
Of course, we'll keep you up to date on this police shooting on air on KSTK.com and on the 5+ app.
Tonight, an inmate's life is on the line. Just 24 hours ago, a judge approved a new plan for Marcellus Williams to avoid the death penalty for a 1998 murder, a crime he says he did not commit. Hours later, though, the Missouri Supreme Court blocked the decision. Justina Coronel joins us in the newsroom with details on this ongoing case. Justina.
Well, Marcellus Williams sat in a St. Louis County courtroom these past 2 days and left with a different outcome each time. Yesterday, he thought he'd avoid execution next month, but then today, a new reality came in.
It's been very up and down.
Their emotions have been too. Marcellus Williams' friend Michelle Smith and co-director of Missourians to Abolish the Death Penalty spoke to him following Wednesday's hearing.
In his own words, everything will be the way that it will be okay, and he has faith in that.
In court Wednesday, a judge agreed to Williams' Alford plea for a 1998 murder of Felicia Gale in St. Louis County. Instead of an execution, his sentence would be life without possibility of parole. Criminal defense attorney Herman Jimerson explains.
There's no contest if the evidence goes forward against me. It's not saying he's guilty, he's just saying I don't want to fight it. There's no contest.
This is after attorneys learned the prosecutor's office mishandled the murder weapon for years, corrupting the DNA, which is his main piece of evidence.
If you're going to use science to harm people, make sure science is correct. Make sure it's preserved correctly.
The Attorney General appealed the case to the Missouri Supreme Court, saying the circuit court lacked authority to override a capital murder sentence. The court sided with the Attorney General, saying an evidentiary hearing is needed. Smith said Williams is holding on to his faith.
Marcellus is a person who's always very calm. You know, he believes that the best outcome will happen because he's very faithful. So it is definitely going to be a battle here on out. But I am looking forward to the truth coming out. And that's our main goal, has always been to get the truth of everything out within the court system.
The Attorney General shared a lengthy statement and said in part, quote, "It is in the interest of every Missourian that the rule of law is fought for and upheld every time without fail," end quote. The hearing is set for next Wednesday.
It's been 1 week since Arnold residents turned out at City Hall to voice concerns about a new parkway project. Now they're gathering signatures to recall members of the Arnold City Council who supported it. The 2-mile project would connect Richardson Road to 141, forcing home and business owners out. The city wants to connect the northern and southern commercial districts. Our Tracy Hinson talked to an expert about the options that residents have.
The petition is to recall each one of the councilmen in the city of Arnold, as well as the mayor and the city treasurer.
It will take 4,000 signatures to recall Mayor Ron Counts and Treasurer Dan Krupa. The various council members will require 850 to 1,000 signatures.
It's been going really well.
Signatures showing they do not approve of council actions.
We have 38 homes, 38 families that might be displaced, and several businesses that won't be in business anymore in Arnold.
The recall strategy is one eminent domain legal expert Dave Rowland says works.
I think the city of Arnold should keep in mind what happened the last time there was a major eminent domain controversy in that city.
Longtime Arnold residents will probably remember the dentist's eminent domain case in the early 2000s.
Is basically everyone in city government who supported that project was voted out at the next opportunity.
Rowland has studied eminent domain for most of his career. He says it's an effective strategy.
Focus on making the case to their fellow citizens that this is just a project that should not go forward. In other words, they can focus on public relations and trying to persuade their neighbors, don't do this, and if the city insists on it, let's vote the bums out. That has been a very effective tactic.
Which is what Sarah Lurkins and her neighbors are trying to do. In Arnold, Tracy Hinson, 5 on your side.
The next time residents can voice their concerns to the City Council will be at the regularly scheduled meeting on September the 5th.
Police arrest a suspect in the killings of a Missouri couple in Haiti. The evidence they found.
And just hours to go before Kamala Harris accepts the Democratic nomination for president. Political editor Mark Maxwell reports from Chicago.
What a glorious day again today. Temperatures down into the 40s for some of us, but the warm-up is about to get underway as we head into the upcoming weekend.